don't even bother.
We're good, everyone? All right, we got regular Carmen back today, which is very exciting.
Hey.
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 Hey now.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey. I wanted to ask when I have a... Okay, there we go. I wanted to ask you ladies if you have heard about this new pandemic, apparently, that's called whiteness.
Oh, whiteness is the worst.
Oh my God.
Is there a vaccine for that?
They're developing one, apparently.
I almost just made a really inappropriate joke.
Let's wait for Fauci to come out with the whiteness vaccine.
Fauci's as white as they come.
Fauci's the worst white, though. It's just something that's been going on for so long. This hate of, I mean, we're all white. Your family, you're not white American.
Right.
I'm born in America, but my family came here as immigrants. Same with you. Everybody's family has come here. But this pressure and this hate for race.
But I will say, being half Irish and half Swedish, I'm about as white can be. So I will throw that caveat on there. I feel like as Italian and Basque, you may not be as, white.
White.
Got more flavor.
I just...
more
flavor.
Spicy.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little tired of, legacy media, social media perpetuating this hate. And now you've got these, it's just young kids are hearing this. Everyone hate on men, which Megan and I talked about with authenticity, just this toxic femininity shitting on men. But that's a legit thing. A lot of people aren't really.
Listen, if I'm going to hate somebody, it's because they earned it.
Yeah.
I don't care what color they are
Yeah.
or what gender they are of the two genders. Mm-hmm. But if you earn it, you get it.
Well, and the thing is that unhealed people are ready to be offended at just about anything, right? They're looking for that trigger to be offended. And it seems like, oh, I'm going to jump on the racism bandwagon. And this is what I'm going to be offended about because it seems to be the trending and the easiest thing to be offended about. And as we know, being offended is that bottom shelf like you're talking about, that bottom shelf emotion. And once you're offended, I can grasp onto my victimhood, my feelingness. That's a word, you guys.
I'm going to make it's a word
New
now.
one.
It has been spoken.
Feelingness.
That feelingness of being a victim.
Yeah.
And if I can be a victim, then I'm going to feel important. And then I'm going to have groups behind me helping me perpetuate this victimhood. So, yeah, I'm unhealed. So I'm going to go try to find this thing to fill this emptiness. And it's the attention I'm going to get. And right now, it's the white man bad.
Especially
pandemic.
white men.
Yeah.
Particularly, more than any other group, I think has been really vilified.
Yeah.
Like it's not the 1700s.
No.
Calm down.
Right. But it's also, we go back to just what's been going on in society the past so many years at this point. And you have the merit-based anything being removed for the sake of diversity. But I want diversity because it's just more fun to be different, right? Everyone has something different. They come from a different culture, a different background, a different country, whatever it may be. Everyone's contributing. But when you're talking about a merit-based system, you want the best qualified. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care about any of it. But it's when they start to make everything just remove merit from it and make it all about where you're from and the fact that you cannot be white. You look at the kids that were the students for the Ivy Leagues. They weren't even accepting these genius white kids. Jobs weren't hiring for qualified white men. And that was a very big thing. We will not even look at, the application if it's this, whatever, if it's a white man. And I have friends that kind of fell into that. And they were the recipients of that. I'm not even going to call them victims of it because even my white male friends who that happened to, they're not bitches about it. They're just, oh, this is what happened and this is why I didn't get it. I was the most qualified and it still got passed over for someone who had no experience, who was a different race, whatever it may be. So all of these things that I just think, enough. Are we back now? Do we think that maybe this year, I know a lot of things are back. just in terms of being a little more free, and we can talk about what we want to talk about without, because we were all pushed to a point where now we're over it, that we're like, well, I have a voice too. But do we think it's getting better? I hope it is.
I hope so. Well, it's like the difference between equality and equity, right? Like equality is everybody has the same chance or the same opportunity. And equity is everybody gets the same outcome, which is socialism, or communism, which is bullshit. And if you work harder than somebody else, you should get more than somebody else. I mean, that's equality. That's a merit-based system. And that's what America's about, which is the beauty of the thing.
Yeah. Talking to you, Boeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because okay, if you're, a sandwich artist, then go ahead and hire that DEI hire. But when it's somebody flying a plane, somebody doing brain surgery, somebody doing like really kind of life or death things, I want the most qualified person, regardless of their skin color, regardless of their genitalia. Like let's have the most skilled people. That's important to me.
That's crucial in anything. And so when we were talking about this earlier, and it's been on my mind too, just weighing heavily, this goes back to, gosh, when we grew up, nobody got offended like they get offended now. Now everybody's offended, right? Like everything. You have to be careful of what you say because you don't want to offend this person. You got to accommodate this. No. Take it back old school. The new generations need to learn that you have to have tough skin and you have to be able to not take everything so personally, because in doing that, you're making everything about you, and nobody likes that. But we didn't get offended. And then I started to realize, right, over the past, that the person, the movement, I would say, in the country especially, where it became more focused on race and racism, like trying to bring it to the front, forward facing, bring it back to the front, was Obama.
Absolutely.
And now the beauty of that is that Michelle Obama,
Big Mike,
is Michelle Obama is on podcasts and doing speeches about how white people this and white, and I'm just, you are perpetuating this and feeding this narrative that then people listen to and they're like, maybe we are racist.
Well, I have news for you, Michelle. I also have to spend time straightening my curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
that's not exclusively a black lady problem. I know black hair is different than white hair, but like your Italian hair is different than my hair. Like get a fucking grip.
Yeah.
I
My daughter
can't even form like an articulate argument because it makes me so annoyed.
This one has seen this hair not straightened, but my daughter has the kinky red. She's just like, no, I'm not. I think it's been straightened twice in her life.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
my
like,
younger
"Don't
daughter
straighten
has
it. It's beautiful."
really curly hair. And she, every now and then, she'll say, well, straighten my hair. And then 2 days later, she's like, no, I need my curls back. And I love it. Mine's not that organized. When I let my hair air dry, it is
little bit of a
buddy,
cluster.
it's a hot mess. Some pieces are straight, some pieces are wavy. It doesn't know what it's doing. It's very on brand.
It's got a mind of its own.
It does. So we just...
And that's just regulate it as best as we can.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama loves to perpetuate all this shit all the time. This hate, again, like from white people towards black people. And I just think, Michelle, I literally grew up in a time where I don't give a shit. I had all friends of every color because I don't look at that, because you should be teaching children to look at the person who it is and not separate it. If you talk to a baby child, just learning things child, they can't differentiate who they're playing with. It's just it's their friend. It's in school.
Are you cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you cool? Can I play with you? Will you let me play with your Barbies? Whatever it may be. That's how kids do it. And I feel this is a very man-made thing, first of all, in terms of people putting these beliefs on kids. But it's just also something that we were fine for a few decades. We were fine in terms of how we grew up and how we kind of came into adulthood. And then all of a sudden, Obama gets in. And when she was talking about the hair thing, but she also said it's because we're not ready for a female president when someone asked if she was going to run.
Well, throw up a good candidate.
But almost as if she was going to be the nominee. What have you done?
Yeah.
What have you done to be being married to a president doesn't make you automatically qualified to be able to run a country.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and in my junior high, they were so psychotic about diversity that then as an adult, I was so weird around other people because it was like, you're colorblind, you have to be colorblind. And then it was like, I don't know how to talk to you. And so now I have friends, like I used to work with this gal who's Chamorro. She's from Saipan, which Chamorro people are from like Guam and Saipan. And she would take me to barbecues with all these Chamorro people. And I got to ask questions and learn. And they were just like, yeah, come on in here, white girl. What's this food? What's this food? What's this food? And that's so cool. And I missed out on a lot of that because they were so indoctrinating about you. Like they tried that. We don't see color. It's okay to see color and appreciate it for what it is. Like I have Mexican coworkers who will come, yes, come help us make tamales. We'll show you what it's about. Don't put too much hot sauce in there, you little white girl. You know, and it's fine. And we can give each other a hard time and they can make fun of me trying to pronounce things and it's fine and nobody gets offended. But I think that learning about each other's cultures does not fuel the division that they need, because when we're divided, then we're not paying attention to what's really going on.
Yeah, it's this idea of tribalism, and that is going to take us backwards. Obama started moving us backwards, right? Taking us back to, the 50s and 60s of being separated.
And it's okay to have your tribe and your people and your, you know, but then you can also learn about other cultures, and that's okay. And recognize the differences. Like we've talked about, men and women are different, and I love those differences because we found out that men who act like women piss me off more than anything.
Oh, man.
And so be different. That's totally fine, but appreciate and celebrate those differences. And you can give each other, you know, a hard time. Like the military is the greatest example of that. It's merit-based at the core. They tried for a long time to not make it merit-based, but like, it doesn't matter. You could be some corn-fed white boy from the, you know, BFE, Alabama, and you could end up being best friends with some black guy from Philly. And it doesn't matter that you came from completely different places, but you don't have to be the same. But they don't like that.
No, they don't like that. But I love the different cultures. This is why I'm such a huge advocate for traveling to different countries, because you get to immerse yourself in different cultures and learn why they're different. You find the things that you love about maybe your own culture or country, all of the things. You'll see all of it. It's just nobody does that. Nobody learns that if they don't go explore, if they're not open or receptive to other countries, cultures, people, learning about why, all of the things. But you have these narratives that are continuously pushed. And I'm still confused as to how we all know that this is being pushed, and yet it's still going on. So it's, hey, legacy media, hey, you know, commentators that are now getting on social media or politicians trying to be cool on TikTok. We know that you're frauds. We see through it. But I think it's almost the damage has been done, because those of us who know, like we know, but then those of them who just keep focusing on those other shows, those other stations, they are still very much ingrained in that belief of, well, white people are the problem, whatever it may be. And that's how you had this whole movement, and people still talk about it, about getting reparations. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you benefit. How are you benefiting? You know, where in that line do you fall?
Yeah.
You deserve reparations.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about who really started slavery, but like, who wants to go back and you are this percent this, but if you're this percent white, do you have to pay yourself? And like, it's not like the Irish were real well loved when they came over here, you know, and my family didn't even get here till the 1900s. So should I have to pay anything? Like, do I get paid for the potato famine? It's it's ridiculous.
Right. Or the soldiers in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Do they get reparations?
Yeah.
Because they fought and died for that effort to free the slaves. Do they get reparations? Do I get some from my mother's side?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. If we're going to go there, let's really talk about it. Let's talk about this inconvenient history that, is just not talked about in the classrooms anymore. Unless you get that one teacher who's like, I'm not following what they're telling me to teach. We're going to talk about what really happened in history. And that's how we got here, right? People like Obama, media, all the media outlets, the legacy media, they're all following this script of let's talk about history, what we want you to know, right? And the real history is being lost. The education in that is being lost, and really understanding what really happened. Then you're at risk of repeating it, which is what happened. And Obama started us down that road again of repeating this racism, the separation among each other. It's being repeated because people don't really understand, or they don't remember what happened the first time around. And now we're destined to repeat it.
That's the whole point of history.
Yep.
Is you have to, that's why it's there, to learn, to not repeat it. But it was the whole tearing down the statues, changing the names of bases, changing the names of schools, changing the name of everything to try to eliminate it. Why? Because you're ashamed? Shit happens. I'm sorry. That's how countries are founded and settled, and all of the horrors that go into the behind the scenes of it. And you can't just erase it because it's literally part of your history. But then you have everyone that's pushing this new stuff. And that's what I'm saying. What's going on in schools? Schools terrify me just from not having kids, but also knowing that one of the kids today is going to be a leader in the future. That terrifies me because I think, what the fuck are you guys being taught? Not the right shit. So that's terrifying on many levels.
It really is. But easy times bring hardworking children in the next generation, right? So I think there's a little bit of hope there.
Hold on.
How's that go?
So hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
There you go.
That's circle it back.
We're
to
in the hard times.
We
well,
are.
are we between the weak men and
I
the
think
hard
we're
times?
between
I
weak
think
men
we're
and hard
between.
times. And so I think we're having to raise up the strong people.
We talked about the culture, the different cultures, and appreciating and loving the cultures. And I'm just going to say it. What's been going on with the attacks on ICE, agents doing their job, the reason we're in this predicament world is because for so many years we had open borders, and who came in, like who knows who came in. So I'm sorry, but we want a country with borders. That's it. And I'm so annoyed with the protests and the people with the apps now that are warning other people about ICE officers, and then the illegal immigrants who kill people, and the legacy news doesn't talk about it because it doesn't fit their narrative like in any way, shape, or form. But if the Maryland man gets taken,
Gosh, yeah.
that's national travesty and everyone's going to uproar. What? It's a wild thing to me.
As a first generation American, I am very thankful to my dad for coming here the right way and going through those steps that were, not easy. It would have been easy for him to just come over here and work and fly under the radar and get married, have kids, and never going through the steps to come here legally. He did that because he thought about his future family. He thought about me, and he knew that there would be a risk of, gosh, they're going to find me and they're going to send me back, and I'm not going to be able to come back. So thank you, Dad, for doing that the right way. And this whole idea of white privilege, I'm sorry, my father was a sheep herder. There is no privilege in that. He worked his ass off, and thank you for that. He taught all of his kids how to work, how to not be afraid of hard work. We've never been on any kind of government assistance, never. Worked 40 to 60 hours a week. All of us have in our jobs. And because my dad taught us how to do that. Because when you have problems, you go to work. That's what you do. Privilege had nothing to do with it. But he is a huge proponent for ICE. My point is, he's a huge proponent for that because these people are coming over here and maybe they will have a better life here, no doubt, but do it the right way. Don't do it illegally. And there were 4 years of terrorists crossing our border, and we're finding out about them now. We're looking into them, but they're here to hurt us. And you are living under a rock if you think that these groups are not coming together and working on plans to attack us and take us down from the inside.
Absolutely.
So be smart about it. Don't hide from it. This is happening. This is why ICE is out there doing the job they're doing to protect us at the end of the day. It's not about feelings or the color of the skin of the people that are being removed here. It's about our safety. And what country doesn't have borders?
Well, and the people who want open borders, do you leave your front door wide open all the time? I mean, if you close and lock your front door, then why are you doing that? Are you racist? Like, it's just a microcosm of the nation as a whole. Good fences make good neighbors.
Right. And I'm going to judge who comes into my home.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not supposed to judge. Jesus said to love everybody. Yeah, but I'm going to judge a crazy person coming into my home. I'm not going to let you in my home. I'm going to protect my family. My husband's going to protect his family. We're not going to let just anybody in here. Yeah, love you, brother, but go get some help.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
I can help you find some resources, but you don't need to hang out in my house.
But you're not coming to my house.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that whoever voted for Trump in the last election, this is a huge part of what we voted for.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And like I said, unfortunately, sometimes things are messy, but it's really only the results. This is cause and effect. You don't like how it's happening, but you didn't say anything the last 4 years when it was just so blatantly open. And really, really, this is not a safe situation. We got to desperate times call for harsher measures. And this is the measure that it's going to be. And also, maybe don't believe every single thing you're watching on certain news stations that are showing you this travesty, but then forgetting to mention the American citizen victims, especially the women and the children, who are not being recognized at all because it doesn't fit that narrative and the fear that they're trying to instill that you're just going to get knocked on and taken away. Don't go into a country illegally. I'm telling you, you can't even go stay anywhere else without a visa or without a double citizenship, whatever it may be. You think Mexico is going to let you go? You think other places are just going to let you go? They're not. So I just don't understand the hypocrisy. I'm thinking, what's the word? It's hypocritical to think that you can just go somewhere else and that it's fine and you can just make a life for yourself illegally, right?
Well, if you cross into a country illegally, by that definition, you have committed a crime. Therefore, you are a criminal.
Yeah.
You might have a great heart and be a great person, but like that's a criminal act. Why? Again, if you break a window in my house and enter my home, I don't care how quote unquote good of a person you are, you still committed a crime against me and my house, my home, my property, my family. So fuck you.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to make you dinner? What would you like to eat? No, I'm going to call the cops or something else.
Well, and back to the children with the open borders, the Biden administration was absolutely a huge perpetrator of human trafficking.
Oh, yeah.
They absolutely were. They should all go to prison, in my opinion, just for that, for the human trafficking of these babies who, a lot are being found now and sent back to families or find good homes now, but they're not lost. A lot of them are still.
I'm sure it
there's
wasn't
being
just,
efforts made
I
to
feel
find
like
them.
that's been, I just watched a video about MK Ultra and how that's been in the government for years and years and years, the trafficking. So I'm sure it wasn't just Biden. But the fact that whichever administration it was that made it easier for you to cross the border with a kid just meant that these kids were being passed back and forth so that people who weren't even related to these kids could come in and cross the border with a kid. Yeah. Is it your kid? Whose kid is this? We don't know. We're not gonna do any DNA tests. We're not gonna verify. We're not gonna vet any of these people. Just come on in.
We'll say we vetted you, though.
Yeah.
We'll tell the media we vetted.
Yeah. Did a general vet, but there were a couple 100,000 kids unaccounted for, and I think my point is there's no uproar for this, right? There's the kids, it's fine. No, there's uproar for the worst of the situation, in the sense of the worst criminals by entering a country illegally. Yes, by definition, even coming in illegally, crime. You might not be a bad person, but you still committed a massive crime by getting in here illegally by whatever channels. And then nobody cares about the kids. No, they care about the people who, they make a big deal about the people who are actual bigger, more dangerous criminals. And they're doing that with the boats and the drugs.
The drug boats, blowing up the drug boat. They're just fishing
for cocaine. I didn't know you could.
There's a big difference.
I don't even know what bait you put on the end of a fishing pole to,
a tiny spoon.
A tiny spoon to end up with a couple, massive amounts of kilos of cocaine. Things like that, where it's a wild concept to me from a logic standpoint that this is even happening, that this is even a discussion that we talk about, because it doesn't seem real. Because when you have commentators on the legacy media that are almost trying to make a case for, well, they were just two people hanging onto the boat for survival. Yeah, to get here and sell and pass off drugs, that how many hundreds of thousand Americans were killed from the fentanyl influx. Oh, yes. You're not even addressing these things. So it's a very backwards world, it feels like, when people are making cases for all the bad shit that's going on, and then criminalizing the actual real victims, or just the situations. I feel like we're
an upside down world.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And can we just talk about the fish who are exposed to these drugs? I mean, I feel like we don't talk about that enough.
I feel like I never even thought of that. Now I feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
So
fish lives matter.
They do.
It's the ocean.
Let's just have a minute for them. But I think as a nation, we are like the frog that is slowly getting warmed up in the boiling water instead of being thrown into the frying pan. Right? We're just getting so overwhelmed with like, oh, this is new. This is, of course, it's like COVID it launched us into that. Like there's this big thing. And then it's just been one thing after another since then. Like, I don't know, grandma wasn't able to have a funeral because of COVID. But what's that one guy?
Which one?
Oh, the black guy.
George Floyd.
George Floyd. He had 3 freaking funerals.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, but we got used to it. It's just things like that. My point is, all these little things keep coming at you and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And pretty soon here we are. And we look back, how did we get here? Well, they turned the heat up slowly on that water and we're boiling right now. And how do we get out of this pot?
Holy shit. So hold on. I remember once also Megan used the frog in the boiling water and I'd never heard of it. So now I'm uncomfortably familiar with it. But I didn't even put it to just the country as a whole. So that makes sense. You're pushing these little things. COVID was great for that. COVID was great to ruin so many things in our country and how people treat one another and just the mentalities that they take for everything. But the little thing that, you can't go see grandma in the hospital, but we can all
have a mostly peaceful riot for George Floyd.
Yeah. Mostly peaceful protest. All of that was just allowed. And the problem was that nobody spoke up because you had some states that were worse than others. I was in California. It was bad. He banned the beaches because he's a douchebag. So all of the things, they were asking neighbors to snitch on the holidays on your other neighbors. And what were you getting? You think about what world you're creating. You're training people and you're seeing who bites at this really messed up bait. And this just is not how you treat people. So what happened in those really closed states did a number on people that they didn't feel like they could stand up. So they did feel like, because there was punishment attached to it. Now it's kind of, we see beyond all of it. You're getting over all of it. We're coming through it, especially with the speaking up, because we've been so tired of getting berated all the time for just being a normal human. But when you allowed those certain things, if you now looking back on it, it all has been fitting the narrative to get to this moment that we've gotten to the past year and a half, 2 years, with the Biden administration, especially. I don't like it.
I feel like COVID, they turned it up just a little too high, too fast. So a lot of us did jump out of the pot.
It was definitely a social experiment to see who was going to comply and who was not. And unfortunately, the majority of us did comply. And so they're taking that forward with these other things that are going on in our world today. It's like, if we really want to bring the hammer down, we know that the majority of this population is going to comply. I hope not. I've heard stories of people who did comply during COVID who now are like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
There's no way I would do that again. And they have tried to bring the masks back, right? And people just laugh it off, and it doesn't work. So maybe there is hope there.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we're not freaking out as like we should be about the open borders, about this pandemic of white people. It's just accepted, and you can talk about it openly in legacy media, and everybody's just accepting of it.
Well, and also because I can't tell you the last news show that I watched. The people who did jump out of the pot in the last 5 or 6 years aren't watching that. And I'm not listening to, Rachel Maddow or whoever the F else is on the news. And so I'm not rallying against them because I'm not listening to them. And so I think there's a division there.
Can I just say something about Rachel Maddow?
Of course.
For somebody who hates white men, she really tries to look like one. I mean, have you ever... Just the irony there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rach.
Thanks, Rach. Hashtag thanks, Rach.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are darker forces at play that are trying to divide everybody at the end of the day. And they recognize that they turned it up too fast with COVID. And so they're pivoting, and they're sneaky as shit. And so they're gonna try to get in there and do it again. They learned from that mistake.
Let's say they turned it up fast also for a lot of people, but then also not maybe fast enough for the other people who just willingly complied to everything.
Yeah.
I will say that I love that I had this stubborn thing with it, even being in California. I think it was even more so. It created so much anxiety. To me, I could never get on board with the masks. That created a level of anxiety for me that I just didn't make eye contact with anyone anymore. And I thought, this is what they want. But I look at the people who jumped or the people who learned after, and there are so many of them that now I feel they have to be so sneaky because they made the mistake, but also because so many people are more aware. If you think about the shit that we see on social media on a daily, probably courtesy of me that I send you both, to create your own new algorithms and contribute to sprinkling, all of these truths that are coming out about pivotal moments in life that we've experienced. So call them conspiracy theories or whatever you may, or whatever they may, because they're all true. But you just think of that and you think, okay, we're done. I think collectively we're done. So you want to cry about ICE. By the way, shout out to whoever is running the DHS and the Border Patrol and the White House Instagram pages.
Oh, yeah.
Those are amazing. I get so many jollies from it. But this is what we need to fix what you have done.
Yeah, we need the humor.
Also the ICE coming in. I'm saying
Yeah.
that and the humor. But we need it because it's just, I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of this hate just because people are white, just because it's the white man. If I have to hear that shit any more than I already do on a semi-regular basis, because I don't really listen to a lot of stuff like that. Also, I'm able to shut it down. And then that's the point where you're like, well, is it because they're white or are you just retarded? So,
Well,
if you're Tim Walz,
yeah.
you're both.
there it is. Tim, don't be a little bitch. Seriously. Like, that's what you get offended.
Learn how to
That's
use a shotgun, bud.
That's what we're getting offended at.
Can
Meanwhile,
we drive by his house after this?
Absolutely. Road trip.
road trip.
I think if you're not getting caught up in it, you realize it is an attempt to separate us, to have us fight one another. And you need to be smart enough to recognize it for what it is. This is spiritual warfare at its core. And once you recognize that, you can rise above it and not play the games, not being told how you feel, how you're supposed to feel, what you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to be offended about. Rise above that shit. This is them and their sad attempt to separate this country and have us hate one another. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop following what you're being told to do, who you're being told to hate. I mean, stop hating, like you said. Just stop with the hate.
Yeah. Well, in the hive mentality, like I can hang out. I have whole people in my family, and I've talked about people in my life before that don't vote the same way I vote. But I'm not mean to them, and I would still love to sit down and have a coffee with them and have a chat, like more conversation, more discussion. The more that we can come together to actually pay attention to what's going on rather than fall for this divisiveness, I think is the key.
And then you find out, gosh, maybe we do line up on more than we thought. Because the goal ultimately, really, I think we want to love one another. That's the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you do find that. I know a lot of people that I talk to, maybe far on either side, it's a negotiation at the end of the day, in a weird theory. You pretty much end up coming to some place in the middle where you both align on on big things. You can find that similarity and that alignment there. But COVID also, it really inspired people to think for themselves. And that's the problem with the hive mentality. It's so easy and it's always accessible to be able to hear what you need to have a talking point on, even though it's a stupid talking point because it's not even true or it's manipulated in whatever way it is. I'm talking about legacy media shit. You can go from every single one and hear the same phrase because it's the keyword of the week or whatever it is. It's the slogan of the week. So you hear all of these things and then you have people thinking for themselves. And I think a big lesson is also, again, we were all raised in a time where we didn't get so offended by everything, but stop getting offended by someone making a statement about women in general, and then you're going to freak out. Like, stop taking on the weight of a whole group and make it your whole personality and persona to then go hard with it. I'm not getting offended about white people. I'm just saying it's bullshit and I'm over it. I don't want to hear it anymore because it's not even real. You're creating this hate for an entire race. I'm not ashamed that I look the way I look. This is just the way that God had me look, right? In terms of skin color, in terms of whatever. I can't really even speak proper English all the time because I'm ESL, but that's, irrelevant. I still speak English in this country. Like, there's so many things that I just think, stop with your hate and stop trying to say that you are owed something and you are entitled to it because you're not white, because you're a woman, because whatever it may be. You should only be getting things because of merit, because you deserve it, and not because you're a little bitch that cried about it. Yeah. We're over it. That's it. That's my rap about it. Like, boom, I'm just over it.
Well, the hive mentality is based on fear. And that's how COVID worked, is based on fear. And a lot of us survived all the winters of death and sickness. And so we're not afraid anymore. Wasn't really afraid to begin with because it's a cold. Yes, and yes, there were some people who had comorbidity. If I have to hear the word comorbidity one more time, vomit. But yes, there were some people who were more at risk, just like any other illness. But also, if you're healthy and you're taking care of your body and you just build your immune system, that's your responsibility. Your immune system's not my responsibility. My immune system's my responsibility. And the immune system of my children is currently my responsibility. That's it. And I feel like it got real clown shoes when it was like, well, my mask isn't going to work unless you have your mask on, and my quote unquote vaccine isn't going to work unless you've had your experimental injection. Like, that's not how any of this works.
Right.
Or you're not wearing a mask, so you're okay being a grandma killer. That to me was the ultimate. Things like that where you're putting everyone else at risk because you're selfish. No, that's actually not how it goes, because I'm not responsible for your grandmother. I'm responsible for me.
Yeah.
That's it. And so it became this laziness, which was also the blame and the offended. It all goes together. It's easy to fall into fear because it's told to you and you're told how to prevent it, right?
Yeah.
You have to wear your mask, so I have to wear my mask. Like, we all have to wear them together. We all have to stand 6 feet apart, except when we're at a restaurant. And then we can all eat with no masks on, because that makes total sense with people mouths open and disgusting. So I think of that, and I think how easy it is to fall into the trap of, well, I don't really want to have to do research to figure out how I'm supposed to beat this or what this is going to do. I'm just going to listen and follow the rules. And that's what happened. Too many people, and that's what you were saying. Now, years later, they're like, what the fuck? What was that?
Yeah.
But it's all about, yes, keeping us divided, but also keeping us stupid. So everything, or unaware, to be a little less harsh. But they do bank on you being stupid and not thinking for yourself. And I like being a free thinker and not an idiot. I think it's kind of fun.
Well, and I think that's in the easy times. It makes it easy for people to just yes-sir their way through life. Big Daddy government can take care of you, and you don't have to do the work for yourself to figure out what you think and what you believe, and why do you think and believe those things.
Yeah.
Well, because Anderson Cooper told me. Well,
and now we're the herd.
Yeah.
That's just being prodded along during
Yeah.
COVID, right? It was fun being a cow, right? During COVID. And now it's the same herd that's offended, that believe in the pandemic of white people right now. It's that same herd of people, the morally superior group who like to point down on you from their high pedestal to tell you what you are doing wrong and how you can be safe and how you can be better and how you need to apologize for the color of your skin. I'm sorry, but fuck off. Kindly fuck off.
Oh, that's the other
Do
thing.
better.
The white apologists. That's right.
oh yeah.
Oh, please.
Well, and it's like when my kids were in preschool and kindergarten, you can't make fun of somebody for what their hair looks like. You can't make fun of somebody for what color their eyes are. You can't make fun of somebody for things that are out of their control. So how the fuck am I supposed to apologize for the fact that I'm white? I had no control over that.
Gosh, I remember those videos on social media, though. They were so good when people were blacking out their square on Instagram and they were just crying and apologizing for what they are. And it's just, at the end of the day, you're just a human. What have you done that has hurt or offended anyone? So it's wild.
Yeah. I feel about those black squares the way I feel about the ice bucket challenge. Like, what is that doing to fix anything?
Was that
Are
for
you-
ALS, right?
But everybody just poured a bunch of water over their heads and
They
nobody
didn't know
actually
why.
paid any money to anything. And how, I mean, and I feel like we've talked about it back channel that most awareness campaigns aren't actually doing anything to cure whatever disease it is. Anyway, it's just a money-making scheme.
Oh, like Black Lives Matter, money-making scheme galore.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. And it was ushered in by Obama. He is the one who allowed for groups like that to come to be. And now look who's under investigation. Black Lives Matter. And I'm sorry if you gave money to them, but yeah, what a scheme that was, huh?
That was a big one.
Still is.
Yeah, oh, it still is.
Yeah,
Because again,
still is.
a lot of people don't listen or do research.
It's like, I feel so bad about the color of my skin that I'm going to give money to this group called Black Lives Matter.
Just because they're black.
Yeah. Well, and they're telling me, how privileged I am. Oh my gosh, you're right. I am so privileged. Never mind that I've worked my ass off my whole life and I pay my bills and, I don't rely on other people to come in and take care of things for me. But I'm going to apologize for being white just because, yeah.
I'm privileged to be American and have the chance to work for what I
Yes.
get. And the harder I work, the more potential I have to get more gooder things.
More gooder.
More gooder.
Like, that's the privilege.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't matter what color you are if you're willing to work.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
Bring back
whatever.
meritocracy.
Yay, meritocracy. We love it.
And working for what you have and being proud to work hard.
Yeah.
Like, pride is a sin, but like, be willing to work hard for what
Yep.
you have.
And make the mistakes.
Yeah.
Earn it and don't be entitled.
And don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Be a good human. And that's it. Yeah. And yeah.
A douche canoe. I learned that one
Douche canoe is a good one.
recently. I like that one.
Yep.
Douche canoe is a winner.
I like that one.
That's it, I think, for me.
Thanks for coming to this TED Talk.
Yeah, buddy.
And have a good day to everyone except the people who treat roundabouts like a four-way stop.
No.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.